I'm MC Lars. I make hip-hop music.
I'm Weird Science. I also make hip-hop music.
I took guitar lessons for a long time. I studied Pro Tools and music production in college. Yeah. Otherwise, self-taught. I mean, I do a lot of songs about literature and poetry. I studied that a lot, so that informed me a lot.
Never took lessons.
Warm up. Well, Josh does a lot of vocal warm-ups.
Let's try to, just like anybody else, get kind of warm, maybe stretch out the vocal cords a little bit. On Warped Tour, our pre-show ritual is we have a big banner that says MC Lars and Weird Science, and it's become kind of the ritual to put it all together. There's a lot of different parts, and I, for one, really like doing it. I think it gets me centered and ready to go, and once you see the banner go up, I don't know, it's showtime, so that's become our pre-show ritual.
Probably me, but we both are passionate about intelligent things, you know what I mean? I think you kind of have to be a nerd to want to do music professionally. You have to be obsessed with it, consumed by it. And a nerd is really someone who's passionate, not afraid to use their mind and put their heart into something. So, I don't know, who's nerdier, Josh?
I don't know, because there's different kinds of forms of nerdiness, I'm a total movie nerd. Literally addicted to movies. I love movies, and I know way too much about it. I got the Freddy and Jason on my arms.
That makes you a junkie.
What's that?
That makes you a junkie.
Well, I was a junkie for 10 years. Now I'm addicted to movies.
A movie junkie.
But I think we're both, what we're passionate about. We're both kind of nerdy. In our lyrics, there's a lot of kind of pop culture references to, like Lars does the lid pop thing, which I don't know, yeah, maybe Lars wins in the nerd war, but that's a compliment. To me, I think that's a compliment. I think for me, just, the exposure, and it's a lot of fun, we're like a big family on the bus, and it's going to be weird when this is over, because, for 2 months, I wake up every day and I see Greaves and Udo and Big Chocolate and Lars in the camp, and now we're, after this, we're going to go our separate ways and keep, keep touring, but not together. So I think the family aspect and just the overall exposure is really, it's exciting for me. This is my first American tour, so I feel really lucky to be out here with Lars and to be representing something as cool as Horus Records, something I really believe in. So that's my answer.
Yeah. Wait, sorry, I didn't hear your question.
The best thing to come from touring for you?
Yeah, it's the exposure. I think we've gotten really tight as friends, and our set has gotten really good, and it's just been fun to win over new audiences across America. Like, what an opportunity, I feel like we've gained thousands of new fans, and Warped Tour is just a well-organized, amazing tour. So I'm just happy we got to do it. I think everyone's pretty easy to get in touch with.
If we had one, I'd have to say it was MC Lunchbox, our merch guy.
Yeah.
But Lunchbox is just Lunchbox, and he's a great guy, and he busts his hump all day. But sometimes in bus call, you got to go out looking for him. But I guess if we had to pick one, it would be him. But he's also pretty easily reachable. So
I like to watch movies. I like to read.
Yeah, reading and watching movies is a great way to pass the time, and also, get inspired by things. I mean, what you take in ultimately ends up inspiring you. So I look at it as good, time well spent. On like a 9-hour drive, and you watch 3 movies, and yeah. So.
I would say the Norva.
That's mine.
It's they've got a great hot tub. They cater to the bands. It's just like, wasn't it built by band members?
I had always heard that like 4 guys that all had toured went in on this club called the Norva in Virginia, and it's known as like the best club in America, and not just for the hot tub, but they treat you the same no matter what. I've been there when it's half full, and I've been there when it's sold out for 4 nights, and they treat you the same each time, and they just really seem to know, when you see the Norva on your itinerary, that's going to be a good day, and it sounds great. Everything is as pro as can be, and they just treat the bands really well, and they have a real sense of what goes on the road, and sometimes you need that kind of, one day of cushioning, Yeah, of course. I just put out a record. It's the follow-up. It's my second record. It's called Sick Kids. It's out now on Horus Records, and I'm out here supporting it and picking up hip-hop.
I just just put out a free mixtape on mclars.com. It's called Indie Rocket Science. We're gonna have Mars Attacks. Comes out September 6th. Wars Records, that's our label. We do it all independently, and it's gonna be on iTunes and available from mclars.com. You can check out weirdscience.net. You get Sick Kids, the new album, and we're just out here hustling, living our dreams.
Yeah, all kinds of cool stuff. Lars, you tell me about your really big tour coming up?
I'm doing 2 months opening for this guy MC Chris, and then we might go to Russia for New Year's Eve, maybe Australia, maybe back to Europe. This guy's traveling all over too.
Yeah, right after war, well, mid-September I go to China to do the Black Rabbits Festival with Ludacris. Right after that I go to Australia with my other band, Terrible Things, which is also out on Warped Tour. It's like a rock and roll band. And then back home and figure out when we hit Australia and Russia. And I'm sure I'll be doing an American club tour in the very near future, and I can't wait to. So.
Yeah, I mean, I always like to end interviews by telling fans that, you know, society and culture teaches us to consume and be passive. But really, the whole reason why I do this is because I want to inspire people to be very DIY, be very punk rock, to create more and consume less. And don't try to emulate your heroes, become your heroes. Put out positive, beautiful stuff that you own, and that's the way you change the world. Because, you know, this world wants to make people passive consumers. They want to give dope people up on TV and fast food and just make us sleepy and not challenge. So, just create.
Yeah, I mean, we're living proof that you can do it. MC Lars, Weird Science. Peace.
I know these kids, and they love to get high, probably to try to escape the same things that I have battled with, and now stained onto our psyche. At one point or another, we're all convinced that we might be just a tad bit broken, and only hear the bad even when good things are spoken. We find solace in fine patterns and bottles, and a lot of us become the demons that we can't abolish.